was rolling through earlier, so at least Minnesota Rockers sort of, you get the land jitters out of the way. You got a series under your belt. Obviously, though, you are on the bounce back in Boston, a ferocious opponent. This is a map, though, for Rewind. This is where the ARs can absolutely thrive. The P2s, the P4s, you can lock you down. I know Nameless is talking about how Gio's going to be his guy. Well, shooters in the lobby, awakening the hot hand at the end of the last series. And, well, it's Minnesota. Let's start the map off right.
Gio did have a fantastic time against the Miami Heretics. Again, he finds a little bit of success here against the Boston boys on board with Awakening. Roaming and finding what you can of it was P1 is such a mixy hard point. So many ways in, and Cammy already on the snap. Snoopy finds two in the back end, and trades on trades on trades. Rocker on top.
Yeah, and Rocker had the spawn, so as far as the opening break goes, they're going to be incredibly happy for the situation they have. Purge, though, hyper-intelligent player, already taking long routes to break it down. So you're exchanging a lot of P1 time to take the route, but if you get the kills, you already see guys like Kenny spawning out.
And this is a hot attack. Purge finding 3 in this life. The wallbang's going to be there, not enough cover or even concealment on the inside there in the Rewind video store, and already Kenny and Nero battling the way forwards to D2. Boston Breach will have spawns. Boston will be in control.
Yeah, and shout out to Purge for getting them these spawns. We'll see what the team can do with it. 20-point deficit they are making up from. And Purge right now, Mr. Doodle, he's hanging out in time. You got Snoopy in the back line and Cammy, each of them winning a single gunfight on the flank, but Minnesota Rockers sent 3 players to attempt to block these spawns. Everyone's turtled up in square.
But they do block them. Snoopy might be bringing aims to this fight. He's got a long line of sight to work with. Cammy on the contest. Nice work there, the in and out. Be getting Gio as well. No, Nero, he finds his kills also. So the numbers are starting to work out, but there we go. Boston Breach still close on the spawns, still on time.
Yeah, very nice hold as well. Minnesota Rocker making some good plays, but Boston able to sort of stave off that pressure. And now there's no time to take the long routes. You're going to have to force yourself through the front, and that means easy cleanup kills from Cammy, already taking routes over to New. And the question is, does he want to try to blow his way past? He's sliding, he's trying to find the route, and the concussion's landing on top of him. Not enough to take him down.
Yeah, he might know where he is. He's still got to kill him. There we go. Finally, Gio gets into it. Or Kenny rather in the feed. So now, hardpoint over we go. Through the middle of the map. A couple of members here of Minnesota Rockers should have control, but Snoopy's on this wide route. He's the player on your screen to watch.
And he just needs to live. You're waiting for your teammate to get the kills, and well, Purge is already doing so. Nero's gonna spawn out. Kenny is gonna join him. Minnesota Rocker, all that work to take care of Cammy. Well, they let a hole open on the map. Boston capitalized, and again, Boston just making the smarter plays right now.
Yeah, that's a gap in the armor of Minnesota Rocker here. That's going to be a solid lead developing now from Boston Breach. Perfect position to be in. We're going to see a counter flank here from Nero. He's on the right-hand side of the minimap. He's gone all the way around, and what do you know? The same hole in the armor for Boston Breach right now. Nero
main stage. They'd rather be back on Rewind.
And we're alive and kicking. We might have had a bit of a power outage there. We can hear the game taking place in the background, folks, so we can assure you it's still going on, even if we're not getting coverage here in-house.
I mean, hey, we snap out of the hiccup, and all of a sudden Boston, yeah, they capitalize on the lead. They don't actually have the rotation over towards P4, and once again, Boston are just overwhelming in these moments. Kenny right now, the last man standing for his team, and it lasts but a half of a second. Seemingly every single important sequence we have had on this map, Boston have just had the extra edge.
And they've still got the edge, they've still got the lead now. So back over to Beepers, and it is a real good hold here from Boston. Purge goes down. Gio and Nero now on the attack. You've got 2 players through the back door, but Cammy lines them up, can't get the kills. On board with Snoopy, brought down through the window, and that is going to be that. Solid break. Rocker are in with 20 to go.
Yeah, and Rocker are going to have to continue playing bully ball if they're being out-rotated like this, so their slaying is going to have to kick up. It's Gio that does so in this sequence going on the 4 spree, but I feel like the Boston game is just much more consistent. Purge taking the long route, Snoopy there to join them. They're just making the more heads-up plays. An opportunity, though, for Rocker to stabilize on new time, and look at the long routes again being taken. Boston happy to play the heads-up game, and well, they're going to have a pinch on the new time.
Oh, it pays dividends, but you still have to win the fights. Trades are there still. And this battle, 3 in a row now for Snoop. but this battle for gens is about to burst wide open. Snoopy on the dance, managing to get at least one. Now eyes towards the dumpster. Here comes the next wave of Rocker players. Kenny now through side door. Nero puts Snoopy on his back.
Yeah, but he's just going to get traded out instantly. That's Awakening able to pick up the big two-piece. And once again, Boston just staying ahead of the game. Another long route. Snoopy doing a fantastic job of playing his life. And Estriel hops straight over top of the player, and Awakening just guns him down. So even when the smart routes are being taken by Rocker, well, in that moment, they just get outskilled.
Everything right. Cammy finds the corner. The last man to be traded there for Boston. Still on time. The trophy's not working out. It's not going to be a stick. It's a little bit of damage. Cam brought down. Trades. Oh, friendly fire. Absolute pandemonium. Still on Awakening. Boston still win the trades and hold time.
Yeah, and that is just a P1 where Minnesota Rocker off the opening break gets 26 seconds, and they get 40 on the next 4 hills. So they have been getting tucked to bed for the moment, but it's only the first set. They're back to their home inside of P1 and maybe happy to collect. Snoopy behind enemy lines. You trade him out, you're a bit more comfortable. And by God, does he make you work for it.
It's such a gunfight. Gio, he might have waved the white flag at that point in time, like, I'm empty, man, let me just die here. And it does. One Rocker, though, didn't get 3 dead, now 4 dead. A single man there for Boston Breach on the attack, going to be Purge. He might catch that nade, catch a couple of proms now as Kenny looking to reinforce, but Kenny gets eaten alive. Wow. Rocker still with time, and Gio down, so now both flanks wide open. That time is gonna fall.
Yeah, and Kenny couldn't even get a bullet off in that engagement, and now he's spawning out across the map. Number 2, Estriel, he needs to live. He has to be here to block these spawns, and he is getting overwhelmed. The teamwork on point, and Purge just toying with his food. Let Snoopy get the kill in another perfect rotation for Boston Breach.
Boston Breach, whether it's the rotations, whether it's the breaks, man, they're doing it all right here in our hardpoint. 14 and 17 for Purge. It may not be that special, but these kills are fantastic. This P2 has been theirs since the rip. Solid effort here on the counter-attack. Kenny and the boys now making their way through. Snoopy's gonna man in there on time. The next one to fall. And this is it. Purge finds the 3. That's your point.
Yeah, they're getting stuffed out and slaughtered. The SMGs for Boston right now playing an incredibly well orchestrated game. Snoopy's been doing a great job of playing his life, and that is the setup for guys like Awakening to slam you to bed. The awareness and comms clearly on point. Boston hyper aware, and this is not even a game. Minnesota Rocker looking like a collapse.
Yeah, 100 point plus now, you're starting to walk away with it. Final 15 on 2, go towards 3. Rocker in position this time round. We'll see one of those classic Boston Breach long routes taking place as Purge, the man who typically gets it done, under fire right now, not able to get things moving. But Cammy and Snoopy find their kills through the middle of the map. So now, oh, the opportunity is on. It might not be a wide flower rank, it might be an absolute headbutt.
Yeah, and that's a ridiculous rotation. That is 3 different kills Boston players got, where Minnesota Rocker are fighting 2 at every single situation. The teamwork on point, it is not remotely close. Purge on a 6, and he's got the middle of the map. And this is worst case scenario on a P3 to have to funnel straight through the front. They managed to get towards the time, but they got a long way to go.
Oh, once again, back spawns right now for Breach. Close enough to the time. Purge still on that spree. The 6 is there for it. 7 denied by Kenny. With 30 seconds to go here as Rocker have done a great job on garbage, but bad news, Cammy on a pinch now through Diner. He's going to cause some problems, at least getting the boys off the time. And that's 20 seconds you sorely do not want to lose.
Yeah, Cammy's got everybody turning their heads. Snoopy, he just gets to be the cleanup crew. The damage rolling through. Gio, last man standing on the time, gets dropped. And for Minnesota, nobody is able to get out. Kenny's the one now trying to take a long grab at Snoopy. For him, this is easy reads.
That's a tragic minimap as well for Minnesota Rocker. The long, cold walk of shame across Rewind, trying to get in towards Beepers. You have 20 seconds before the game comes to a close, and map 1 goes to Boston.
Well, I mean, an interesting spawn for Gio. This might be just a small sign of life for Minnesota players getting the back line, but the back line's one thing, time is another, and they're just not here.
Awakening, a brick wall of defense, final 5 seconds, here we go. Demon Joe finding his, Cammy in the feed as well. That is gonna be that, ladies and gentlemen. Map 1, Boston Breach from start to finish.
Yeah, dialed in, and Purge looks turned there on the main stage. I feel like we have seen the development throughout Black Ops 6 of the different sort of like angles of direction teams are going to be going on. Some teams are figuring things out as time goes on. And Boston, they're one of the teams, they're just playing a very smart game through and through. Minnesota have had nothing to offer on this Friday.
1-0 lead for Boston Breach, Minnesota Rocker. Your dreams of CDL champs starting to fade.
Oh, they faded a long time ago.
I'm still selling it, brother, because this series ain't over yet. Rocker still, that was a tough look from them. 3 players there in the 2,000 damage department. Actually, the same as the Boston. The match didn't really go on long enough. And with plays like Purge making these great long routes, these great flanks, giving his boys spawns, giving his boys great opportunities to get solid chunks of time together, there wasn't that much quote-unquote action in that regard.
Well, I feel like the situation for Minnesota Rocker is like after the opening break, they're in control of the game. Purge takes that single wrong route, picks up 2 kills, flips the spawns on their head, and then Minnesota, quite literally for the rest of the game, never got any semblance of control back. They are constantly fighting this uphill battle. And Minnesota trying to do the right things. Like that's a moment for Camby where he's getting stunned, he gets caught. Well, Snoopy's there right behind him to break it down, but just a situation for Minnesota where they were never able to truly get set up on the minimap in any situation at all. And I mean, hey, if Boston are able to play with their feet up, they're gonna thrive. Awakening, that is a quiet 27 kills he was just able to drop in at the stress.
Yeah, not at all. No problem, no stress, no issues there for Boston Breach. We know they've had their struggles there throughout this season. Even in the most recent weeks, they've not looked that decisive or that dominant in any of their matches, but regardless for Rocket, you have to pull some special stuff out now. The Search and Destroy has got to be absolutely pristine. The team morale is going to be wavering. The ability to see the victory starting to dwindle. As Boston, a raging finish there in map number 1. We put Rocker, we put everything, their warrior spirit to the test here in this series.
It just feels to me, again, like the sort of skill gap has been solidified. We're seeing teams at the top look stronger and stronger as time goes on and really set themselves apart. And just like the fine details of the game really just getting tuned into play, because it's not like Rocker wasn't trying to fight back on both the B2s. They're making the correct plays. They're sending 3 players around Deep Street, trying to coordinate and have the teamwork. And even when they were getting close, you see on the first B2, still getting stuffed out, and they didn't really prevent a substantial amount of time. In the second go around, well, they get absolutely stuffed in easy reads for Boston. So you keep control of the game, you're good to go. That's the rewind. Now we go over towards the red card, another map where Boston Breach, they're going to be happy to see it.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, they ban out rewind when it comes to Search and Destroy. Hacienda gets banned out there by Minnesota Rocket. And now Coach Sean passing on final few moments, final words of advice for the lads going in the S&D as we're going to get to this one a lot faster. The boys will be feeling confident as well. You fought hard this season to find yourself here in this moment. Can you keep it going in this incredibly decisive final tournament of the year, final major, and only 3 days to prove your worth here in the league?
Yeah, and falling flat again is going to be a painful situation. EWC might be around the corner, but that is still, you know, a month and some change away. Actually, maybe just 2 months straight up. So you fall short at Major 4, you're going to have to sit with that pain for a long time.
Also, don't forget about team changes going in EWC. I'm sure there's opportunities for players to shuffle things about a little bit, maybe make some crazy moves. That's where we did get to see this very Boston Breach roster come. Of course, Snoopy, the only surviving member of the roster from the MW3 season, but the very team we are looking at now, they were formed there in Saudi Arabia.
An interesting comparison between these 2 players, because neither of these stats are particularly electric. 0.8 KD, not great. 0.77 right next to it. In my mind, the difference between these 2 players is I know that Purge, even when he's suffering in the kills column, we saw this on his Vegas Legion squad from last year. His comms, especially in S&D, play calls are on point, and he is already motor mouth getting ready. In Boston, we know their style of search. They have sort of solidified a unique place in the league. Hyperactive in the play calls. They're going to be swinging back and forth across the map endlessly, and they jump on everything together. Some teams are able to break them down, but Boston, make no mistake, one of the better search squads we have in the game. Overall, the record in 5th, and again, they have a player on their team. Consistent 0.7 he has been in this stage in the game mode, and still they managed to be strong.
Here we go, map number 2, red card, S&D. Breach will be an attack first. 3-1 split here for Minnesota Rocker over towards A. Heavy pressure from Breach towards B, and if they get moving fast, they should overwhelm the site.
I mean, hey, you got to call there's a man on the bomb. That's 1 shot. They waste no time. Doors kicked open, corners cleared out, and now you know you have backed them out of the site successfully. Don't want to play it just yet. You don't have trophies. You got to dodge some nades, but once you count them out, you can safely get the bomb down.
Yeah, this nade's going to help. Might get a little bit of damage. Oh, there we go. That could be a moment for Subi to push, but he's going to choose the right player. Not necessarily worried about the rest of the boys there. Estrel finds his first blood. Oh, finds another. So what do you know, folks? It's all down to Cammy, not in the play by B.
Great breakdown, Cammy, for a 1v4. A little bit of time to work with, but this is a nightmare situation, and Estriel shuts the door instantaneously. good round on defense, and that's the Boston we're used to. Making plays, getting aggressive, following up on the comms, but as soon as Gio gets that first blood, Boston knows we have to find a way to even the odds. Snoopy gets aggressive, tries to peek the corner. His teammate does the exact same thing. And Minnesota play the safe and comfortable game. It's a good round one defense.
Start of the season, the story really was that the B-bomb site was way harder to retake. This time around, no trophy system certainly helped get all those throwables through the windows, through those tiny little doorways, eliminate those players in those close corners, those hard to reach areas, man. It's like a back scratcher. It really gets the job done. First contact, Nero. Trying to play this as slow and as sensibly as possible. His teammates now watching over him. The flank by A also covered, waiting for anyone to show face.
Well, the setup Boston have on the minimap right now, if Awakening starts calling out, hey, we're going to be a little bit overwhelmed, it's going to be aggression, and yeah, if Estriel gets bit off, Boston just stacked up so much aggression on this pinch. Cammy gets the next one. Nero trying to even out the odds, but this would be a 2 versus 4 clutch. And Boston, they have all the positioning they need.
Nero deep now behind enemy lines, bad timing on the play.
Bomb down.
Snoopy's going to be there, that drops. Yeah, Giro, he's going to get 1 kill out of this with 9 HP. So good luck, mate. This is such a tough spot to be in. And Breach hot on his heels. Good shots, but Killer Cam closes out.
And just a breakdown of a round, we saw the setup on the minimap for Boston. 2 players, aggressive, over towards the bleachers side of the map. They had a third AR as the backup man over towards Ticket. So they stacked up there on the defensive end, and it's a great setup. That is trusting Awakening over towards the A site just to not die. He's just there for information. And of course, once there's a slight overcommitment, the trades are easy. Boston breaking out some good strats.
You can't take it with you into the next game. Last thing you want to do is give anything here to Minnesota Rocket. They're a sort of team that once they get the spark, once they get that big play moment, it's hard for them to look back. They catch fire and they burn real bright. Snoopy, our bomb carrier, over towards B we go.
And Estriel, the lone defender of the site, he's going to be very one shy, and Snoopy, he knows that's the go button. Open the doors, and a difference in this round, they will have trophies, so maybe able to get the bomb down just a little bit quicker. So many stuns just landed in their face.
A lot of maybes, though. Yeah, you've got to worry about all those players above you. Purge, watching flank. Oh, don't say a word. Don't even check it. Wow, Nero. What a first blood.
Unbelievable. Maybe the door just didn't open up all the way, and it sort of tipped the hand. But the reason Boston lost round 1 is because Purge got blooded. He does so again, and they get aggressive. Works out better this time. Minnesota completely unprepared. Nero needs an ace.
He can still get it. The gunshots are there at Awakening. Oh my, Nero! What an ace! The double back on the escalator. I cannot believe he made that call.
That's former teammate too that he just took down. Nero and Awakening. Well, they've been around the block together, and Nero just took them on a tour. You need a Nero snap round, and he gives it to you. That is a top 5 play of the week. Make no mistake, that is an unbelievable round.
The pistol kill onto the third player was impressive enough, but the immediate read, he knew what Awakening was going to do. He knows he's an aggressive player. A little bit of magic, but you still have to get the gunfight. Wow, great stuff, Nero there. Gives Rocket the lead.
Hey, he's trying to pick his team up. They need to make sure they follow suit. 3 players right now on the attack, and they are running straight into the Boston defense.
Oh, hello, chaps. All out the outdoors we go. Estriel starts things off with a good kill. Snoopy finds 2. The third not going to be there. It's Gio into the feed. And now Awakening finds himself alone by the plat. Big moment here for Gio to fight his way forward. He had a tough first series. Awakening pinned down, but that's 2 red dots on the minimap to play with.
It's a pure AR battle, and Gio's checking the pinch because they have never seen Cammy. They have no idea where he is on the map. They know Awakening is in depths, and they're not playing for the isolation, not looking for the gunfight. They're going to play for the bomb down. Awakening and Cammy have him in a pinch.
I wonder if they still will commit, though. Yeah, you've got no intel whatsoever. Fight your way forward. What a win. Gio, that is magnificent. Cammy has still yet to play his hand. And surprise, surprise, he's got a Jackal. Now he's been identified. Heavy pockets, though. Opportunity to maybe catch a player, but no, Rocker. Close ranks, take care of business.
That's interesting. I don't know if Cammy picked up the Jackal off the ground or if he had that from the jump, but he had that weapon in hand and still takes the world route to try to help his friend out, but he just gets there way too late. And again, for Minnesota, I don't know if they just wanted to hunt down Awakening before the bomb plant, but they were still afforded so much time to play with, and they make the correct call. I don't know if I'm looking at things for Boston. Purge has been blooded 3 out of the 4 rounds. He just needs to stay alive.
It's easier said than done, but we'll see the difference it can make if he isn't the first player to be taken care of there for Boston Breach. A big playmaker when it comes to search. Sitting there 0-4 on the other side, Kenny 0-2.
Yeah, and you got Nero driving a car this round, so he's going to be able to give you a little bit of free information over towards the A site. You see Snoopy already having to pump the brakes, and they're looking to take it down.
Wait.
By nade or by bullets. You don't want to be near a car. At least the RC's out of the picture. That's also 30 seconds now burned from this round. Boston gonna have to, speed things up just a touch.
It really was a solo play. It really was a one-man army there with that RC card. Don't want to follow up whatsoever with any nade stuns or anything in between. So now over we go. The foot race is on. Here come the Minnesota Rocker reinforcements. The bomb planted. Nero up close and personal. Snoopy's gonna strike first.
Saw that red dot, wanted that kill, ends up falling. And now 2 AR players trying to break into this site, not ideal. Estriel will be leading the charge.
He's the first man back over towards site. Kenny gets himself his first. Awkward gunfight to make his way into this one. Kenny overwhelms the bomb site now. Boston show a tremendous amount of numbers. They're positioning wide open. Estriel finds a huge kill. Geo's flank done. 1v1, 15 seconds. Cammy is set up to win the round for Breach.
Yeah, there's just no time. You're gonna have to shred him with the Jackal in this moment, but not a hope, not a prayer. Cammy gets it done, and they get the first blood, and they execute. Boston battle back. You got Purge and Awakening combined 2 and 10. All things considered, they might be happy they're only down a round.
Yeah, not bad at all. 3-2 now, Rocker in the lead. RCXD's come to play. Been and gone. And 2 sprees, all that Rocker taken in this next round.
Yeah, and obviously mentioning Awakening at 1 and 5, but angle responsibility, a big topic of conversation in the competitive Call of Duty world. But how about just your angle knowledge from Awakening? Kenny can't kill him from that angle. He's gonna have to slide out, and he knows his teammates have him covered. So at least on a positioning front, Awakening on point.
Awakening, whether it's his angles or his demons, he is something. Another classic RC spot. This time Nero though, perfect nade. He read that one a mile away. Perfect cook, perfect nade, gets the job done. No RC, no intel.
Slow round though, and now look at number 2 on the map, by the way. Estriel is having to check every single corner over towards bleachers because of the previous setup. So Minnesota Rocker, they've been slowed down just because of the different presence that Boston has shown on the map.
Boston, I thought, once they get going, it's going to be solid. Cammy and Awakening are shooting quite hot so far. The damage they should be able to output over those players like Nero up through street might be enough to deter the whole Rocker play. No one showing anything yet.
Well, Minnesota Rocker right back. Estriel's here now on the pinch. He's getting control of the top window, and that's the go button for Nero. Everybody in position, but Nero doesn't have the timing just yet. 30 seconds on the round, and yeah, a double pinch rolling through. Minnesota Rocker, so slow. Boston, they're everywhere in the right positions. Gio on the back line, him and Kenny looking for the clutch.
They managed to open a lane now to flood through the bomb site, maybe get the plant down, but the time's ticking. Here comes Boston. They're looking for the counterattack. Oh, but the time is ticking. Boston cover themselves up. No one's going to die just yet. The round will end if you don't kill these players.
And Kenny just doesn't have any help by the site. It's a 1v2, but you kill him off bomb. Now he's gone, and now Snoopy just has to dance.
Wait for it. Oh, no hope. Boston run the clock down. Find the equalizer in a tense moment, but a veteran play from young Snoopy.
Yeah, and this is one of the, this is the type of round you expect in stage 1. It is stage 4. This is the most important time of the year, and Minnesota Rocker just not able to solve this puzzle in too much time expended before they make the play, and then again, just a double flank rolling through. 2 different rounds on the defensive end. Boston, the pressure they have through bleachers has been winning them these rounds.
Yeah, it's all fire superiority. You're not losing these gunfights, but you're not necessarily winning them. You're just getting more damage into the enemy team right now, and that is showing statistically. Keep them at bay. Find your way into the play on your terms. That is the name of the game right now, and Rocker have had enough of this. They're going straight towards the B bomb site, or rather Boston are. Rocker on the swarm.
Yeah, notice how Purge is with him now. He's gotten blooded in these situations in ticket every single time. So he says, you know what, I'll let someone else worry about the pinch. I'll just be here with the team. So Purge making the adjustments on the fly, and now you're successfully able to get the bomb down. Minnesota Rocker also adjusting. They're sending Gio on the deepest pinch you can. Other 3 players squaring up.
Geo's timing wins out. It looks like Geo's timing a little bit better. Wait, Cammy's here as well. So the battle on the flank is still going down. The site is a bloodbath as well. Cammy opens up this lane. Back over towards site we go. All down to Estriel.
He's got to get the kills quick. Has to get the kills quick. Doesn't have any time to waste. He's got Cammy back down, and the gunny is good. 20 seconds, but you just can't make it happen. Boston Breach again, always have time on their side.
Extra trying to make something happen. It's just such a difficult spot to be in. Breacher eliminating your chances, not just of the clutch, but of making any kind of solid like entries on the bomb sites without taking casualties, without taking a man down, or at least running out of trophies, you name it. They are bleeding you dry in every department.
And again, as noted, Purge, 0.77 KD throughout the stage, not ideal, but the team overall strong in S&D. First couple rounds, he was just getting blooded. 2 times on the attack, working the B site, he just gets picked, the rounds get broken down. He mixes things up, and he's there for the final kills. The Purge might be 3 and 6, but you appreciate the S&D prowess. He knows when he has to adjust.
That's another mid-map push, now another show towards A. Rocker are going for it. They've actually managed to get way past steps, so this time round, it looks like we might be able to get this bomb planted, get rid of Awakening, and yeah, that's it. That might be the turning point here in the moment in the round.
You know, huge first blood on the pinch, though, is going to be number 8, Snoopy, so an opportunity for Boston. The bomb gets planted, so at least Minnesota Rocker this time playing quick, and their bodies are here.
Whoa, okay, Nero. The dance is on, and Purge, if he throws shoulder, he's gonna get eaten alive. Nero looking to catch the last man out. His teammates are there for the trade as well.
Look, yeah, I wonder if Snoopy could have hopped the bomb there if Minnesota Rocker would have had it covered, because he was taking a deep route, but either way it works out. Giving credit to Purge for the adjustments. Well, there's Minnesota Rocker realizing you're just losing rounds because we haven't had enough time. And Nero, not a player with fear in his heart. You want him to get aggressive. You unleash that man, he will take full advantage. Rocker fighting back.
I love the equalizer, 4-4. You walk away with 3 of your men up. And Nero again on a 3 spree of his own. I'm looking at another RC car, his second here of the map. And again, it's been a useful addition to Black Ops 6, mostly for intelligence. We've seen some shenanigans, a lot of team kills. But when it does work out, a thing of beauty. Here we go.
They've conditioned him. So many B hits on the attacking round. Minnesota Rocker triple stack it up. Cam even makes noise that direction, but it's all a ruse. Little fake strat coming through, and now you get the bomb down in 20 seconds. They make it there. There'll be a pure 4 versus 4 for the retake. Minnesota Rocker grouping together for the hit.
No nades either. Oh, there's the nade. It's a little late. Snoopy right through the line of Rocker he goes. And look at the dance. You're drawing attention. You're drawing aggression. He's got a teammate to back him up. Wow, Snoopy, what a win. Traded immediately. Down to Purge, who's banged up as well. He doesn't have the hit points here, but he's buying the time for his team.
24 seconds, 2v2.
Hold it together, Awakening now. Just try to watch over that ball. Cammy with a perfect angle. There's the team player. That's Awakening for the 2-piece. That's Boston Breach, map point.
And this is what we're talking about, the evolution of Snoopy's game, and Purge right there for the follow-up. It is just the dance inside of those pillars, and it's just the information Snoopy's able to feed. One guy on sidewalk, one guy by back hedges, and he doesn't take the gunfight until he knows he has Kenny dead to rights with the Jackal. Perfectly played, and Purge does the same thing. You waste as much time as you possibly can. A 2v2 with 24 seconds left. It feels miserable to try to defuse that bomb.
A tough game of search and destroy for Rocker so far. Their attacking rounds have been a little bit better though. If they can get an aggressive plant, take that space as soon as possible. Don't let Boston work around you. Unfortunate stun there from Nero, but yeah, go for B aggressively now together as one.
I appreciate that they're doing something. Snoopy here, cheeky spot. We'll see how it pays off.
It might do, but here comes the fast reinforcement. There's a cavalry on its way. Snoopy down, but the cavalry, oh, it's made itself known. Kenny! What a 3! Can't get the ace. Kenny now fighting for his life in the search.
Nero gave you a bailout round. Kenny, it's your turn.
1v1. Kenneth Williams versus Purge.
And Purge again, last alive. Happy to play a little bit slower. Purge, second year in the CDL. Kenny, he's got 2 world championships.
So 2 brains working overtime. Try to solve this ever-changing Rubik's Cube. Kenny! Damn! What a win!
Dude, when he chows, he has some unbelievable snaps. And by the way, we mentioned how Nero had the ace bailout round. That made it look like an ace from Kenny as well. Only at 6 and 6 right now, but hey, he got him to the round 11.
Is that 2 top plays of the week from the same map?
Yeah, possibly.
It possibly is. Wow.
And people forget, Kenny is an absolute shooter. Yeah, Kami gives you 3, he loses the round, and looks and goes, boys, what are we doing? Round 11? Okay, lock in.
You can't ask for more. RC from at least Nero gets a second, or Ezreal there, pulls out his RC car. So you've got one for Kenny as well, just in case you need it, but you're going to be throwing everything you've got in this round, folks. Trophy in play.
And this is great news because the car should be controlling the A site at least for a little bit, like a moment. So this is time for the Rocker players to work. Ezreal gives you the comm, and now she's the plank, and look at the angle. It's the spot to Nero again.
Wait.
The corner checker.
Awakening, so damaged. Nero gets away with his life.
This man's built different.
Purge on the wrap now, trying to pick up these players. Man advantage Rocker.
Well, bomb down for the 2v3, and if you get Purge perched up in the window, and the timing on Nero is honestly incredible. Purge might be in prime spot again, unless the master of the corners, Nero's built different.
Ezreal now, the dance against Snoopy, cuts him down. The bomb will be defused.
Brother.
Minnesota Rocker. The grit returns in Search and Destroy.
Dude, I hope we get to see that from Nero's point of view. I don't know if we've seen a single kill from that spot all year in S&D. Not that it's the craziest spot on the world, but that to me looked like a free double kill rolling through. We jump cut to Nero slamming. He gives you a bailout round with an ace. Kenny, a bailout round with an ace. Minnesota Rocker. That's the grit that we want to see.
Yeah, round 10 ace to force that final moment. And then you hit a big one, Nero. Unbelievable. From one corner to another, he races Purge to that top spot. And that's the position you need to be in for Boston to defend the bomb. That is the insurance policy. Fantastic work.
Yeah, and Kami and Snoopy have to look around. Snoopy's like, guys, I give you 11 kills. I planted the bomb 4 times and gave you 4 first bloods. Kami's like, boys, I give you a 3-piece in a round of S&D. What do we got to do? Well, shut down guys like Nero. 13 and 7, 4 of them, or 4 to 6, excuse me. So 17 EKIA, not too shabby, and 4 first bloods as well. Nero, that is a game where he can see through walls.
Tough stuff from Minnesota. Well, at the half, 1-1, exactly where you want to be if you are a Minnesota Rocker fan. First map wasn't ideal. Rewind, an absolute beatdown there. We're going to go to Vault now for a double dose of both Control and Hardpoint. I have no idea how this is going to go down. This is it. Something in the air. There's something magical happening here in DreamHack. Desk, can you feel it too?
Oh, we're feeling it. Wheeler, are you feeling it with us?
I'm feeling it,
He's feeling it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's start with you down at the end. The DreamHack champion.
Yes.
Search and Destroy wins championships. Minnesota in the running for a championship after winning one Search and Destroy round 11.
They got to see one go through the hoop, Chris, right? We'll start there. I will say that round 11 play call was beautiful. I mean, we're calling in the RC car. We know as we push it up the street, they're going to naturally think about rotating over towards the other bomb site. Well, what are we doing? We're also pushing towards that wrap, playing for it. Like hook, reel, and sinker, checking the corners. Nero was electric this map in the final round and the 1v2 he had right here.
I think this is why I kept thinking this Rocker team could be solid, is because the hardpoint was good, and then Nero has these search and destroys. Those drop like 15 plus. I mean 13 here, but like he has these takeover search and destroys. But I don't know, that round 10 from Kenny, he was 2 and 6 to that point and had an ace. And that felt like one of those moments when we talked about last year with Optic and him, like he was like a get me to Sunday guy. Get me to that big moment. Like that was his moment. 1v3. That snap on the Purge was disgusting.
And that's the situation here, right? Like backs against the wall. Like I have to win this or you pretty much lost down 0-2, and Ali Kenny delivered when they needed the most.
Yeah, that was insane. I literally made the comment, like it looked like he had aimbot. They were watching one more time. Insane snap onto that kill to force that round 11. And then just the decision making to push all the way through that B side once they realized there was no pressure. Like Kami technically in that spot is in a great, maybe get 1, maybe get 2, but they check their corners, they clear him out, and suddenly you lost all of mid-map control inside of Boston Breach. Good stuff as Search and Destroy out of Minnesota Rocker, a little bit of ice, a little bit of round 11, and now we gotta see what they can do with the roll.
Kami leads the lobby, 1,600 damage, 8 kills. Let's take a look though at game number 1, because Purge was off to a very slow start when he caught fire in the second half alley. Boston takes the lead in our first respawn.
I think you explained it really well there. It just felt like a slower start from the side of Boston Breach, at least on the side of slaying. But once you hit like that 100-point mark, the structure just really came through. Minnesota Rocker, they were not playing their breaks well at all. They were not waiting for each other. It was a lot of solo chalice, and from the side of Boston Breach, you're allowing Kami to get 2s and 3 pieces, which we do not see often. So that's gonna mess with you, especially for the side of Boston.
Yeah, Gigawig is in this lobby today. Nameless, are you a little bummed you didn't pick him?
No, I mean, we're in a 1-1 situation right now, and,
Yeah.
you know, that's a pretty crushing defeat that they just had in that Search and Destroy. It's really anybody's game. And, you know, on this rewind, this map, you can snowball hills back to back, and we just kind of saw Boston finding their hardpoint game once again. But this is now 2 series in a row where it's like, if you're getting that performance from Awakening, they're going to find success. But can he do it consistently? It's been the question we've asked all year long, but right now, looks good.
I'm just thinking if I'm Cammy, dude, in that round 10, I get 3. I'm like,
Oh, bro.
game. And then you have to watch your team drop. She's like, ah.
Like, dude, my teammates are ass. That's literally what I'm saying.
100%.
This day is already halfway over, but we have 2 stages to make sure you're staying up to date on all of the action. Open up a second stream or just stay here because we got the update live right now. Let's go to it, shall we?
Oh,
do
dude,
it.
okay.
Let's take a look.
What's going
This
on?
is live action.
All right,
I'm told. Vancouver, Vegas. This is early hardpoint game number 1. We are sending 5 teams packing at the night. Will it be Vancouver or will it be Vegas?
If Surge lose this,
I don't know what to tell you.
I will say,
I
I
don't want
mean,
to call that, but I don't see that happening.
Vegas, I mean, this is their last match of the regular season, right? So they're just, well, potentially. So they're just playing with nothing to lose. These guys going out there
They just lost spawns.
Could play spoiler. Vancouver,
those.
I do think is a world-class team. It's just up against Thieves. They've just had 0 success, right? So
Does
it
no
just
one
hurts
see
them.
X did? The man's +5 again on ball. He's the best ball player in the game.
He's doing what he
I don't know
can, dude.
I don't know about all that. Best ball player in the game?
Number 1, Ask Easy Mac. We got to show you some of the stats that are coming up in just a moment. In the meantime, we also have our current main stage match loading up with a Game 3. Vault Rewind, Hacienda Rewind Dealership are over on Bravo. Open up that second tab. Allie, do we say goodbye to Vegas tonight?
I think we say goodbye to Vegas, but I think they might be able to steal that map number 2 rewind. I think we've seen what that roster is capable of doing in the chaos, so maybe an interesting matchup.
All right, that is in game number 1 over on Bravo, but here on Alpha, we're jumping into a Game 3 with the casters. You know them, you love them. It's Miles and Chance.
It is. I'm Miles, and he's Chance. And
Nice to meet you.
Hey, guys.
are about to watch a game of Control. Bit of Vault, Chance, a little bit of Vault. We go from hardpoint in that Bravo matchup to Control here on Alpha. How do you think this one's going to go?
Honestly, I had no idea. Genuinely.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
this is 2 teams with a pretty good battle, and obviously, like, listen, if the round 11 or like the round 10 doesn't go Minnesota Rockers' way, it's like, all right, what are the final call going to be? The end of their year, regular season doesn't go great. They fought back. 2 phenomenal rounds coming out of individual players on Minnesota Rocker, and for the round 11, Nameless touched on it. Great play call as the entire team. So Nero's on one right now, and Boston certainly have their work cut out for him, but I think honestly, I'm going to keep gassing Nameless. I completely agree with the analysis. Wait and keep shooting his gun. Vault, absolutely an AR map, and well, defense side of things, they have not been particularly good. And by not great, I mean towards the bottom of the league. So need to make the adjustments. It has been a consistent thorn in the Boston Breach side, has the Control game mode been, and I mean, for Minnesota Rocker, you have to capitalize.
Wow, capitalize with a capital C. We've talked about the C's of the CDL today on the desk, and right now we're missing quite a few of them in this series. So it's time to get things going, lads. We say goodbye to the coaches on stage. We say hello to map number 3. Before that, though, again, we are battling for champs still. Minnesota Rocker. It has got to be something particularly magical. They've got to take down Breach, take down the winner of Surge and Falcons, and hope that Optic get double bopped by FaZe and whoever else.
Well, what would be interesting is Optic actually, where they would drop down in the bracket would be exactly where Minnesota's sort of running up to. Of course, the problem for Minnesota, even after that, they would have to win a few more series. So they're looking for a meteoric run, and of course, well, they're playing for money, they're playing for pride. You want to place as high as you can anyway. It's tournament, it's how it works. But we're here, tied up 1-1 against Boston Breach, and the flip side, instead of settling the champ story, Boston Breach, they just want to eclipse top 6. Control, it has been a pain point for them, but it's not exactly a shining light for Minnesota.
No. And we'll talk about the idea of, playing for your spot in the league next season, or how things are looking there. After this matchup, for now it's certainly eyes on Control, eyes on this series, eyes on the next one after that. A round 11 piece of magic from Minnesota gets you this far. Can you ride that momentum? All aboard the carpet. We'll show you a whole new world, folks. 3-1 split off the rip here for Breach on the attack. And what a bang that was.
Yeah, these are the deep depth series where you want to dig The deepest well you possibly can. See who's the real competitor in Purge. Great moves, and Gio just a little bit better on the gunny. Not too shabby there on the defensive end, but Snoopy gives you 2, and that means Boston Breach have space purchased over towards A.
Yeah, they space purchased, but they weren't able to actually do too much. So they got themselves into A, they don't manage to overshoot. Snoopy, the furthest man forward, gets at least 1 out of that life. Nero's going to get the trade, Purge right back to it. Up doors. Oh, Gio finds his home. Another there would have been ridiculous. The good slides out of Cam. Unable to grab that aim assist, and he gets taken care of. A single segment is all you get away with there, Rocker.
I mean, I'll say it every single time it is relevant. Gio in the close range gunfight with the AR, I swear he levels up. Just slides into a pregame. He has the technical worst gun for the job, and it just does not matter for him. So, in spite of the fact that Boston get the early kills, Minnesota in control, plenty of bodies over towards A. It's not the spawn trap blender, but it's about to be.
We'll see if that works in the next game. Woohoo! Shots from Snoopy. No trades there as Kenny gets involved. Kenny looking for the 2-piece there. Purge down to 31. Worthy attempt. But at this point in time, Rocker feeling good. 30 seconds left in the clock. Going to get in towards A, and there's a man or 2, maybe 3 in there.
Yeah, good stack rolling through. And just to remind the viewers at home, if you're playing ranked, well, this is old patch. The current one is broken, so can't use that. So it'll still be the old spawns. And while the A zone does not get captured, Kenny there for 2. Minnesota clean house. Now Boston down 5 lives. Got to reposition. A desperation effort to win this round.
Yeah, they dot the I's, they cross the T's, they get rid of that segment that was being worked there by A. Snoopy finds a kill out of spawn, but again, at this point in time, the round should go to Rocker. You've got them pinned in. There's no way they surely get towards A, stop that clock and keep this one going. But a worthy attempt, Purge. He could make something happen here. A close corner from Estriel. Wait a minute, gets the kill. But 1.7 on the B.
Dance battle by Estriel wins it. And well, everybody in the right positions for Minnesota Rocker. No cheeky B hit rolling through. And Nero in the middle of just an MVP caliber series, at least for this individual one. 9 kills he was able to collect in round 1.
Not bad at all. Round 3. Good look there on the defense. We'll hit the O in a moment. The pit's popping. Here in DreamHack.
Had a fun one watching Vortex's team play earlier. Team across the way from him just talking crazy amounts of smack. Those not familiar with Vortex, he's been the Reaper in EU Challengers for years. Former pro, has some great placements under his belt. He's getting chirped like crazy. They've been 250 to 40. I was like, oh, that other team just here to have fun. That's so sweet.
That's the name of the game here at DreamHack, man. Fun. Who's having fun right
Nero.
now? Yeah, Nero. Absolutely Nero. Gio not far behind him in the fun department. Estriel. He might crack a smile if he can crack in towards B, and that's where we're going now. Purge has got a corner. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, gets it. Now we're capping the point.
That's the Purge special. Lying in wait, makes the heads up play. Easy reads, but he ends up falling. And then, again, the Purge special.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter if he falls, he's in the right spots. So his teammates end up getting all of the kills in the B hit. Instantly shut down Boston. That is a strong defensive showing early in the round.
Yeah, nice work. Push forward, though. That's what you want. Space here on Vault, the spawn traps. We've seen how they work. The formula is an effective one. Nice nade there, forces Cammy out of the perch. That top window, but Kenny's in trouble now. Cammy, oh dear. You didn't finish the job, and he's still alive.
And we showed you the Boston Breach stats on defense. They have not been good right now, looking like they are dialed in. Awakening on a 5 spree to kick off this round. Cammy pushed out over towards P2, and 2 players for Boston inside of P1. So if they were playing hardpoint, they'd be all over it, and even in control, well, they certainly have it.
Still fighting out your spawn. Rocker suffocated so far. Very, very little shown on offense. Gio with a big win. Again, up close. Looking for a few more. Awakening is spotting him out. And again, perfect lineup here from Boston. The teamwork was great, but you lose the man down low. Awakening's now the only player on the inside of the A side. Find him, take care of that. And what an awkward run, but up close and personal is where Gio wants to be. Shame he gets traded, otherwise we could have seen a capture.
I mean, yeah, this has been dominance on the defensive end. I mean, you had the one idea coming out from Minnesota off the break to just attempt to go towards the B zone. And again, for Boston, easy reads, they shut it down, and the round collapses. We talk about how like the skill gap right now is being developed. Teams really dialing things in. And like defense on this map has nearly been solved. A painful opening break often can spell out misery. It is extraordinarily difficult to break through on the A site the way teams play it now.
These little changes, these minor adjustments throughout the season. There's a great 2-piece here. Great 2-piece from Awakening. He's shooting like that, it does make the map a whole lot easier for Boston Breach.
Yeah, he points at you and you just dissipate in front of his eyes. The back-to-back defensive rounds, solid stuff coming through, and while Nero popped off in round one, the entire team just gets stuffed out in round number two. Potential defensive shootout we have. But the way teams are looking, that just means your opening breaks. You cannot afford to get bullied out on the attack. You have to get a degree of progress.
Back to school we go, and Orze, no lineup there. Nero and Kenny find the kills for Rocker. Yeah, Purge is going to be pinned down here. Suppressed, not able to make anything really happen from the top. Oh, finds a window, traded out immediately though, but still, Rocker, they still have the advantage in the middle of the map on defense.
Yeah, and that's 20 seconds now, just sort of burned on the rounds, and a long way to go. You're swinging out towards B, and a good snap there from Cammy. At range with the AR is going to pay off, and at least Boston now an opportunity to make moves towards A. Estriel gets dropped as well. Now you can begin to stack.
Ciao. Kenny's down low, and he's just being annoying. Every time he hops up, he contests that point. So now Snoopy's got to play aggression. Nice work on the first, and the second man was a ghost.
Oh, this is just unlucky. Well, they're keeping the progress going. You had Awakening bounce a trophy off his teammate's forehead and gave you the kill, but they're maintaining a little bit of pressure and presence. Minnesota Rocker, you trade out the kills, you win the round. Boston, they need every single trade here.
Yeah, still doing it. I mean, still playing the hops from down low. Awakening, it just lines up the whole team. The whole team down. Boston, that's going to be A captured, and the immediate transition to B.
Well, he didn't get art control, but at least you got presence on time. You got a man over outer art as well, so you got everything covered. It's going to be a long round.
Yeah, it's the first man in. He's trying to do as much damage as he can, and the damage is dealt to him. Estriel there on the kill. Purge, gets right through. Unable to stop any more out of that, but Purge, great play. 2 kills to his name. The boys are still on B.
I mean, he was stuck in war. Well, Kenny's going to be taking a long route. Gio wins a gunfight, but he gets traded. Kenny just got insane timing through the middle of the map. I don't know who it's going to benefit more. A single tick of progress has gone through, so Boston happy for the round so far. An opportunity to make something happy, but Kenny on the pinch makes the big play. Minnesota Rocker have stabilized the round.
He starts to bleed quickly there in the life count. Boston pump the brakes. El Rapido. Ain't no way, Snoop, not at that range. Come on. Well, he knows Gio's weakness, even with the names.
Nero's got an important gunfight. He gets one. Minnesota Rocker trying to keep pressure over towards Art. Good trades rolling through, but once again, Nero on the minimap, as long as he's behind you, a massive problem for Boston. Snoopy trying to do the exact same thing from the other side.
Yeah, they've pulled 2 players now to deal with Nero. Snoop guarantees himself 1. Gio, the slow pie. And Snoopy he's not going to make anything slow about it at all. Stun connects.
And Nero's dead. So Nero's out of the picture. Well, and so is Snoopy. A battle right now in this round in an 8v6 advantage Boston.
Yeah, Cammy's still trying to be that Snoopy player right now. So get forward, try to get as much as you can out of this. But the close art control, Gio and Nero take care of business. 6 either side.
Everything matters. And you see on the minimap, Kenny, the veteran, he is taking a long route, and he's going to be common to his teammates. Post up, L trigger, every single kill matters.
Boston, they know. I mean, Cammy's pulled back a little bit. He hasn't yet committed fully over Cat. He knows something's up. Can we get the second segment? Yes. Third on its way. And here comes the Kenny moment. Is this what you needed? Can he get enough damage in? He pulls players forward, but his teammates get taken care of.
This is the round. I mean, this is the round. Yeah, Kenny just out of the picture, and his head snaps back because Boston found the time. A long route is great if your teammates get the kills, but Minnesota Rocker, in effect, end up turtling towards Art, and they're forced to play towards time. So the idea was absolutely there. The execution was not. Now it's Cammy's turn for the best play, and the best play has been absolutely on point. This is the setup for the B-zone cap.
Well, a perfect lineup there. Oh, man, what a moment of discourse for Rocker. It was looking good. But that's the way the control goes, mate. This is map point for Boston Breach. Great work in the kills department in the damage as well as Breach. They are bringing the thunder here. They're taking their chances aggressively, and they're getting the stacks. They're managing to get themselves on towards time together, get those zones completed ASAP.
And Boston certainly looking to clutch up on the defensive end. It's been a problem for them, and that is an example as to why Estriel, 2 easy cleanup kills. Going to be a double stack on the A zone, and Kenny right now just trying to be the facilitator for the team. Coming out 3 players on the cross, trying to slow him down just a little bit, but he only slowed him down for a moment. And now Kenny again out of the picture near the zone. Gio trying to bail out, but he gets overwhelmed. You have lost your progress on the A zone.
Yeah, you have indeed. You haven't lost the foothold you have, though. So you're able to get the kills, you're able to get back in towards the middle of the map. So this is not over yet. Ezreal is going to go all the way towards B. Might pull some of the defenders, but you've got Awakening in the top R position. He's going to be an issue. Cammy, caught. Unfortunate. But great news for Ezreal. Now there's a man in either perch. Awakening still gets his, but I love this. The double back from Rocker, secure A.
And insane routes end up on the A zone, but Ezreal trying to make it work. Ready for the gunfight. Well, Snoopy actually gets one before he falls. I don't know how Snoopy pulls something like that off, but now Kenny, he's just going to be in the middle of the entire team. He's there from the trades. He has to give you something extra.
Oh, I can't. Cammy's there for it. His teammate's sharp, though, in the nick of time, and they're going to get onto it as well. Slow capture. Purge, though, finds a couple. Ezreal, a third here, would be helpful indeed. That's a big wipe, and that should be A captured.
Oh, and Awakening actually is playing very slow over towards the B zone. So yeah, A is gone indeed. Boston, 15 lives remaining, certainly a good chunk. They just want to play slow, but by play slow, you still have to keep them off the time. That is so many trophies.
That's all the trophies you boys have got. Nero, good work in the kills. Can he get his? No, Awakening, slow crawl. Gets another fight. Nero traded out immediately. Oh, Ezreal, you've got to go huge. Last man for Rocker here, dealt with. Defensive positions now secure for Boston Breach.
Yeah, it seems like Awakening just has his spots. He lived on that van. It's because he gave you the 2 beasts when he needed to on the defensive end, but Boston still turtled. Minnesota Rocker, a really good opportunity here to make something happen. The teamwork has to be on point.
No worry though, Boston are playing this so tight. As long as they get their kills, like they are right now, it should work out. Ezreal, great shots, 2-piece delivered. A Snoopy and Purge, the Jackals now, fighting their way forward. Kenny on the cap.
Is he going to stay on this zone, or is he going to make a break for Art? He's staying on it. He needs a little bit of help. He's got Gio watching the outer lane. He's got Nero with a little bit of coverage over top. 11v9 in the life count as well, and Kenny backing him down from time, but no one there to watch the vault. Well, Nero picks it up, and there's Kenny for 3. Back-to-back attacking rounds. 1. We're going to a round 5.
And Kenny just dives on towards the zone. He just takes all that heat alone, waits for the boys to show up, and Boston overcommit. They leave those positions of power. They leave the cover, and they get picked by those members of Rocker from spawn. What a turn. And that's the first time we've seen a zone get captured in that effect. Everyone tries to do the usual affair, get into arc, play from there, wait for the conveyor belt system, but no one is able to effectively do that.
No, not at all. And you had Ezreal as well, the best play. That was to help capture the A zone. He got the 2-piece by line to kick off the capture towards the B zone as well, but I think Kenny making the adjustments. He's trying to be that facilitator man, playing on the wings, taking all these routes, feeding his team the comms, but the execution has been struggling, so Kenny says, you know what, I'll just be on the zone. I'll let my shooter shoot over the top of me.
It's a weird thing, it's like, keep it simple. Doesn't have to be too flashy, just get the job done. And absolutely space. Rocker with a nice bit of work once again. Just find those kills, dive on the zone. Nice and simple, easy does it.
Getting active, triple stack, it's gonna go quick, and Boston Breach, oh, they get the first 2 kills, and they're gonna be able to dive out from Cat and get the trades. Another moment of a snap, Minnesota Rocker back in spawn.
Save A, very close to the finish line. What a win from Nero. You thank me later, boys. That means that this side of the map is all clear. Cammy now alone. What looks like a 1v2 situation, and Nero has decided to no longer miss a bullet.
The sniper with the jackal in hand. Those shots are not easy to hit. He's making it work, and Kenny hoping for the trade to be there in the background. He was sliding straight in, and well, Gio, close range, can't get it done. Awakening with the leg up, and Awakening the dance moves is the bailout. The A-zone defense right now for Boston remains on point.
Yeah, this is great. Life count still relatively even. Oh no, Snoopy's gone. He's still at large now, making his way around the backside of your spawns. Nero's trying to commit to this fight, and an awkward fight it is, and that's a submachine gun that you want on the front lines. You want him to get towards A, but Snoopy still pulls those aggression. There we go.
Finally, he dies, but Snoopy again, his movement and ability to stay alive is such a massive problem. Now the clock is ticking down. Minnesota Rocker, a little bit desperate. Good coverage on the mini-map, and they're at least able to get to the A zone. And Awakening, once again, he's happy to be posted up B Street. I don't know if the A defense is going to be here in time.
Right, the stun helps push Awakening back, and right where you wanted it, Gio wins a big one up close. Now eyes towards Cat. Can he get the next man in? Front door is about to see some problems, folks, and problems, his name is Purge. Are we going to see the play? Still, over to B. What a moment right now from Rocker.
Kenny's going to be able to get through. He has at least made it to Art safely, and he's playing the aggressive route, and for good reason. There for the teamwork and the bailout, but Kenny shot in the toes under the car, eventually overwhelmed. Maybe 2 good pushes left for Minnesota.
So many players everywhere there. The guns were absolutely smoking hot from Breach out of spawn. Slow and steady approach. Snoopy on the flank. This is going to shut the entire play from Rocker down. He is hot on their heels. Snoopy gets them. Traded out. Still on towards the B zone we go, and this is it. A big capture. 1 of 2 attempts.
They got the trophy, and they got a little bit of help. 3 players looking over, but Camden wins the intro. Gunfight, you're a man down. Trades rolling through. Boston the extra edge, and Nero desperate for some help that he is not going to get in time. Boston alive for the moment.
Junior gets 2. You've still got the front line now. You've got 1 life separation. Estriel, can he cut down the reinforcements? Play with confidence and play with absolute precision. Great shots. The second man upstairs is going to be a problem, and now from spawn, he's keeping these players at bay. No one able to get through the front street, though, onto the zone.
And Snoopy just route all the way from the B zone back there just to kill him. Might be a high-impact play. We'll see if they can deliver.
Snoopy has been identified. He's been spotted, but there's no one there to deal with just yet. Kenny's trying to spin all these plates. He's trying to deal with everything. Back towards the zone on the cap.
I mean, they're leaving the right things for the right guys, and Kenny just gets caught. The trades are there. Gio's good for it. 3 spree on time.
3 spree on time. Purge in. Purge gets the kills. Purge, he's trying to find them all. Estriel trying to keep the capture going. The last 2 members, the last man for Rocker. It all comes down to Estriel. The lineup, the stun, it's done. Vault, part 1 of 2, goes to Boston Breach.
And a bitter and crushing defeat on the vault as well. How close Minnesota Rocker was and how hard they fall. A painful moment there is Boston Breach on the defensive end, able to clutch up, and I mean, the map with a little bit of insanity. Snoopy just taking ridiculous routes. I don't know how many times we've seen a player go from near line or like towards the B zone, wrapping back through R, back through his own P4 to shoot a player in the back, hit the down low route. And I mean, Minnesota, as you comp, tracking the entire way, still finding the kills, but ultimately, I think a couple players just getting caught, like the first bloods on these types of engagements, Awakening picking Kenny on that van, and then the series of trades that happen after the fact. I mean, they're just on point. Boston Breach, I mean, listen, it is nail biter. They get outslayed by maybe, what, 2 kills combined overall, so an absolute nail biter. They had the extra edge.
It really was the edge, and the tiniest of edges that give them the win. Highlights, what a map. And another devastating moment here from Rocker. They managed to walk away with the clutch in the round 11. The round 5 in control goes the other way, which does give us another opportunity to play a hardpoint. So hardpoint here on Vault as well. Your hearts are in your throat, Rocker fans. This is the first of many steps towards champs that you have got. The final march towards Kitchener.
And it really does feel like on the side of Minnesota Rocker, this entire stage has been plagued just by situations of like, you have to win this map. Like, if you don't win this, it's gonna be so much where every single series, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Here they are at the final major, facing Elimination on their 2nd series on a Friday. Even through the winner's bracket, a situation where they have to win this map. There is no choice.
It's so tough. I mean, you have to win this match. You have to get this point. You have to get this kill. You have to get that rotation. You have to block that spawn. They're going to run out of chances. They're going to run out of lives sooner or later. But for now, we find out if it's on Vault. Breach, again, a squad who have seen the highest of highs in of the organization at the very least here in Black Ops 6, and some brutal runs. Still a relatively young squad finding themselves here in the league, finding themselves in the professional Call of Duty world. Plenty to grow, plenty to learn from one another. And Kenny, a player who has helped transform this Rocker team. Still, their shortcomings, though, terrible in the game 5. A lack of, we call it the clutch factor, the ability to close out a series. They're far and few between those big wins.
Yeah, I mean, transform. That is a loaded word in this moment. They've been a little bit better, and they showed like improvements over time, right? They end up in the winner's bracket. They actually do start to clutch up. They lost 9 game 5s in a row, finally able to get 2 under their belt throughout the stage. And in the round 11, the clutch is there, but these are micro improvements and maybe too little too late. Now I know going into a vault, it is very much a map where not as extreme as Rewind, but at least the P4, you have to stay ahead of the game. You need to win these rotational gunfights, and Boston Breach were so far ahead of the game in the first respawn. I mean, someone on the side of Minnesota Rocker has to be the route man to sort of pick things up. Kenny, time to time, has attempted to be that guy, but I just know for Boston, if we're talking about their successes instead of the lack of that from Minnesota Rocker, they've had a really good series. We have taken turns where we've seen all the goods. Purge making the adjustments in S&D, even if the KD's not there. Snoopy's had some phenomenal moments of great routes, ability to stay alive, fantastic like timing of certain gunfights, and Awakening Cammy, they've had their moments to shine as well. Want to deliver here on the Vault, a map Boston have loved all year long, and Snoopy on this map, when he's at his best, is one of the best on this map.
An explosive and very dynamic player to watch. One of the crazier perspectives we have in the league when he's on fire. Can be said for a few of the players here in this matchup. Nero has had some astonishing moments of gameplay throughout this year. Estriel as well, a favorite of analysts the world over in the COD scene. An Awakening who made a very big splash back in the NW19 year. Can he help fight his boys towards a win today?
Well, I just like your acknowledgement of Nero when he has those moments of slamming. That's when Minnesota Rocker are barely winning games, when they have these pop-off moments. For Boston, they haven't needed that to have that success, but this is the interesting moment, right? On the rotational front, both of these teams on the year have been on point. Maybe even the extra edge towards Minnesota Rocker, but it is two nail-biter squads. My favorite stat, though, is as good as Minnesota Rocker those stats look, the plus-minus is still only +11. The number of games, especially at the start of the year, they're winning 250 to 248, 250 to 244. They've had to squeak some wins through.
Well, no squeaking this time, please, lads. You don't necessarily need that. Opening salvo. It's good. In terms of the 3 dead there for Boston Breach, you're going to get a second out of it. But Rocker now back in towards time. A gunfight's going either way, but it's a mosh pit on P1.
Hey, mosh pit, well, Snoopy will be the wall of death for this one, right? You're going to have to get past him to get towards the time. He's letting Cammy be the collector, and he's just roaming. Great instincts, great timing, even better gunny. Estriel going to fall, and gets a couple tags in before he drops. Minnesota Rocker, nice little punch back, and talking about the rotations, right now Minnesota Rocker, right side spawns, final 10 seconds of the hill. They just have to not overcommit, and they'll be good for the rotation.
Good luck, boys. Rocker, right-hand side of the minimap, all good. Purge on the quick attack. He's going to find his player in the middle in a second, but I think eyes straight towards P2. Under the coverage of Awakening, and now Snoopy, you're up close and personal. Estriel, good luck, mate. Oh, luck had nothing to do with it. What a win.
And then when the first two, Estriel does get traded out, and that's just a play. Keep away from the dive. That is gee whiz, that man. Awakening wins some crazy ones. Well, Geo picks it up with a 2-piece of his own. Good hold so far from Minnesota Rocker. Purge trying to play keep away, but as many gunfights as Minnesota won, they've just now started collecting time.
Right. Nice bit of fast teamwork there from the Rocket Boys. Good cam up close and personal. Not willing to give away team fights, not giving away a lot of friendly fire. And that is it. The car, my goodness, a double for Purge. That's a caster curse if ever I've said one.
But look at the number of things for Boston Breach that just went wrong. Teammate rolled through. You got Geo picking up 2 pieces. They didn't win the rotation. So many problems. And Minnesota Rocker, it's a decent amount of time. Happy for the lead, but all things considered, could have been so much worse. But these are the gunfights for the actual rotation. You got Nero spotted on the cross, and well, Cammy, you expect to get traded out eventually. And Nero actually pumps the brakes. Cammy, right now, the hero for his team.
Oh, that was a tombstone pile driver for Cammy. Don't do it. He's in there on the right, Nero, if you can hear me, which you can't. We're going around the world here, but you know Cammy is still in play. Purge was looking for a 3-piece there. This is going to pull Cammy into action. But Nero, he's playing it 50-50 here on the doors. The snap under Awakening. And here comes Kenny to fill the position up immediately. Kenny in the 2-piece there on a cam who has locked down Art for what feels like a lifetime.
Well, yeah, now he should die, right? He's getting the comp for 1 shot. Now Nero's able to just fly on in. So that is extraordinarily patient game. Nero making high IQ plays. Kenny there for the follow-up. And just like that, the ever-important rotation of P4. That was a 40-second battle to get those spawns. And Minnesota, for maybe a moment, should be all 4 players, yes, set up and ready for new.
Oh, here we go, Rocky. You're at the ATM. It's time to withdraw cash from this hardpoint. Kenny, again, it just feels like he's having to worry about so much. He's trying to do it all. He gets a couple of tags in a purge, and it would get into Geo. Can he find this kill? Yeah, sure. 1 to his name. Nero picks up the long line, and over against Awakening, who, woohoo, they trade. You love to see it. Rock a hole.
Yeah, former teammates having an absolute battle. Now Geo, a lot of pressure on the outer edges, knows the front door is open. He's trying to cover the right side, and he gets overwhelmed, and Purge makes it into the time. So Purge threads that needle. Unfortunately for him, all of his teammates die, but at least he made it up top.
Shots in from Nero, but again, Cammy, who has just been a demon this whole vault long. Purge up close and personal, that's exactly where you want it. So, Boston, you've managed to slow down the money hill as much as you could here for Minnesota. Transition this into a tight little P1, and we're already looking at a tie game.
I feel like Purge is deserving of a delicious cookie. An Oreo is what you earn for a moment like that, because again, Boston having to battle from such a painful type of position, and at least they make it mixy, but ultimately Minnesota Rocker still have been ahead of the game.
Man, not bad at all. Well, this is what you wanted for Rocker. The chips are down, their backs are against the wall, and like a wounded animal, they are flailing in this feral attack towards P1 again. Snoopy put down by Estriel. Good time to be had here for the Rocker boys.
And well, you acknowledged it, right? Talking about Nero, the series, he's had MVP of the team for sure. 17 kills right now. So he's doing his thing. He is keeping it consistent, trying to make sure you stay up on it. The Boston Breach, this is the type of moment where they're just trying to make sure they stabilize. They have not had for any moment of this game, really, any degree of real control. Nero pumping the brakes at the right time, and he has been making some super heads-up plays this match.
As far as we call him one of the most aggressive players of all time, I mean, the man knows how to hit 5th gear. Shots from Estriel as well, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite 1v1 fights. Another here in the feed, another to P2, and Rocker's second in a row they've managed to grab.
He didn't get any help. Both Geo and Kenny were looking more towards carpet, and the route gets found. So Estriel, all that work is for nothing. Boston Breach in the top.
Yeah, we cursed the shit out of that one. Boston, this is your chance to take the lead back. P2's usually quite well-treated players. Great push now from Rocker, but Purge, you don't account for the corner. Can he get kill number 5 in a row on a Kenny? Wins a big one. So now we go towards time. That could be the break. Last man in Awakening, and he's tagged up, boys. Somebody send it. Can you get in there without exposing yourself to the reinforcements? You can't. Contest is on, and Kenny and Estriel, the duo, get it done.
Yeah, it's great teamwork for a little bit of extra damage. Now the man going up top, Army Truck, at least gets spotted out by Geo. He's ready for the carpet pressure, but again, poor Estriel just gets left alone and isolated on time. Of course, though, it's only for the final 10 seconds. He'll absolutely take that. You have the rotation in P4 long term. Right now, Boston, what do they want to go for? Do you try to soak up the P3 time? Do you want to play for the break? Well, at least one player trying to slip through. He gets caught. Cammy tries to take the round through secret. He gets caught. Now Purge is doing the exact same thing. He gets dropped as well. Minnesota Rocker, very stable on this map.
At the very least, though, you do take your pound of flesh if you're Purge. But Estriel, here we go. What a pinch that could have been. Causing a lot of noise. Nero loses his fight as well. So, oh, man. This P3, not terribly productive from either team. But Rocker, you've committed hard to this one. If you don't let this player Purge get through, that could have been a death knell for you there. So Rocker, eyes back on the prize. They tunnel vision there a little hard.
And the wild thing about this lobby, like if you're the type of player that loves the chow, right now this is the lobby for you. It's actually Nero that I feel like has been the guy to play his life the most, and even then he's already got 44 engagements, so he's in the mix. Kenny though, final 10 seconds on the old time means that death is perfect. He'll spawn up over towards new, where again Minnesota Rocker have been on top of the P4 rotation, and it has been a necessity for them in this game.
They're in control. They've got all the powered positions. Let's go for a listen in.
Volt, you play for me, Volt, Cammy. He's
on
all Volt, man. He's already on your
There's 2 bottom up there.
Back door, Purge. Okay, take your time. What's any dirt? I'll look at me. I'll tap you for you. I'll tap you for Chow. You're good.
Top before.
I'll be Chow's up. I'm here right there. Okay, and Cam I reach there. I get there too. I'll be front of I'm top, seriously. We do need top. Hold on top.
They all spawn out.
You went top right. We top. We good.
Give me that.
It's Snoopy.
Wait, for you. I'm backing up.
Wait, yes, Snoopy.
Snoopy got me. Snoopy got me. I'll go left. That's fine. I got one. Snoopy on you. I'll see the front door. I'll pick up right. Jump back left. Wait, dead. Came in, Snoopy. Came in. That's fine. I'll block. Actually, I peeped it. He's pumpy too. He's pumpy too. Another one. 100%. Watch out for you. Watch out you. Nice job. I'll block off one. One shot. He didn't tell me. I got him. Nice job. Nice, G. Last guy could be right. Okay, that's fine. I'm blocking. Hard blocking. Alright, go right quick. I'm one. He's one shot 20. I can't play the guy top here. I'm gonna holding. Alright, nothing came back there. They were full, I think. I hear. We played the Nero, what we doing? Yeah, we should. Let's go. Alright, came in. He went line. Line came in. Alright, line came in. Play back over. I came in line. I want it back. I'm playing it back. I'm playing it back safe, bro. They can go short, that's it. I'm trying to T1. T2. I'll follow you back, bro. Short. Nice. Right at me, I'm one. I'm blocking. I'm mid right now. Spawn the middle in front then. I hear it. I'm holding mid. Make sure no one has my pool, Major. I'm on pool. That's fine. Does someone have it? I go. Who go? I'm holding. T0, one shot, both one. Came in one shot. Last guy T0. I'm getting big. Look at your hold your charge. I'm sure. Think up front, that's it. Think up front, that's it, bro. Something bigger. I know, wait, hold on. I'll see you mid. I got one. Nice, 3. Last guy first. He's cool. Nice job. I'm into the fast. 1 or 2 small gold then at least. I'm gonna go both. One maybe. I'm sashing. I think 1 should be on you. I think it's weak. I'll see the art. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think they'll flip. I'll see the art.
Fantastic listening there from Minnesota Rocker, a 40-point lead, and finally a good hold, and finally a clean rotation. Kenny makes it a hard, he gives it a clean 2-piece, and for Nero, these kills are just free.
Free is he's got himself a 6, looking for 7, and looking for the Hellstorm as well. Haven't seen too many of those here at the tournament. I'll be adding one to the pile. Here we go. Nero fighting forward. That is not going to be it, but still, he gets himself a lot of kills. His teammates are so close to that 200-point mark. 30 seconds to go, and Rocker still, without time, have mapped.
And Rocker, no, they don't even need this time. If you get it, it's great, but they just need to control the rest of the map. Estral at least gives you 1. And as acknowledged, Miles, 52 seconds left on the game clock. Any white time could be a massive problem for Boston Breach. If you're down by 50, you have to be soaking.
It's a dangerous gamble, though. Oh, Gio, getting your kills. Good snaps on the cam. You're going to wait for the push here. You've got at least 1 man in the new time. A pinch now on those players trying to get forward. Kenny got to go big, and he cannot. Crushed by Purge on the approach to new. Here we go.
I'm thinking Kenny wants to play up top and sort of be the safety net for the team, but he is challenged. This is a lobby built for it, and Gio gets insane COD timing. You do it the pinch on the time, though. Kenny's being a distraction. Gio able to sort of pierce this setup, but the man up top, Snoopy, is a problem.
Still up top, though. He's still up top. Kenny now through the side door. Can't get anyone out. The Chow is there and Awakening, happy for it. Snoopy wins a big kill on the stairs, and this 35-second game clock just got dangerous.
And it's just another moment for Minnesota Rocker where they had the P4 rotation and they just get bullied out and die at the worst possible time. Nero has 44, and it's going to be a close game.
It's going to be real close. 20 seconds to go. Contest. Snoopy from behind, trying to clear point. Oh my word, they're shoulder to shoulder on the inside. No friendly fire. Nero involved. Over the top. Rocker down. Rocker out. Over to P1.
And this is elimination game right now. You lose this, you go home. Your stage 4 is done. And for Minnesota Rocker, it would mean no champs. A 27-point gap and 27 seconds left on the game clock. Boston, they're fighting back.
The clock goes red. The hard point goes green. 6 spree now. 7 for Snoop. This counter-attack from Rocker has been identified and dealt with nearly at every possible moment. The lead change is on its way. Boston hold.
And that, dude, and you're going to go into a P2 where it is as mixy as it could possibly be, and both teams are going to have to juggle time like this. This is where your comms have to be perfect.
Oh my, Snoopy is on a run here, man. This is it. Looking for the 10's not going to happen. You don't have time for a second. You're so close to this. Minnesota getting for a second or two. They're trying to buy a little bit more time, a little bit more space. On the Purge, dealt with. Nero finds kill number 48.
And Minnesota Rocker, they're deciding to stay in the hill. They're trying to play for the 250 in this moment. They do it the rotations, but now it's back to white time. And now for Boston, you are going to have to be scorching away to new time. And Cammy and Snoopy are in the back. Minnesota did not block.
7 seconds. 5 seconds. Purge has got to go. Can't stop the clock. His teammates do. The hard point open. Snoopy, stay alive. Stay down. Hellstorm. Here it comes.
Survival of the fittest. Boston might just get this done.
They are still holding. Once they turn the lead, they will vacate the point. Cammy keep them back. Hard point changes hands. Rocker are in.
Yo!
Game 5. I'd be smiling too. I'm gonna need a replay here in DreamHack.
Oh my goodness, in the look you're seeing in Kenny's face, the effort it just took. Nero just dropped 50 to win by a single point, dude. A sloppy game of Vault where they had no interest in holding down a P4 for any substantial amount of time. Miles, I'll let you talk so I can just do the quick math on this.
All right, folks. If you've just joined us, there's something about Vault. It likes to give us these very close moments. I mean, 16 seconds here. Minnesota Rocker arguably could leave P1 and let that time run down. What don't they do, Charles?
Well, we're going to take a look at it. I mean, I think it's literally they do leave the time, and I think it's Nero that just scooches his way in the final moment. They outslayed by 22 kills, plus 22 in the kills column to win by a single second. They had every single rotation to Money Hill and P4, and they only win by a single second. Snoopy with the Hellstorm call, it is literally dialed into perfection. Every single kill in these moments are massive, and then the second they hop out of time, here's Nero. It's 50 kills that he breaks, and he makes it into the time. Absolutely perfect. Snoopy leaves, has to come back in, and decisions like that costly. It is impossible to orchestrate these moments, but plus 22 for a single point win.
There's a very interesting piece of the user interface that we, I don't think I've ever seen, which was next team to score a point wins appears on screen. That was a rarity, folks.
Yeah, a time extension, by the way, as well, I believe.
Unbelievable. A single second on Vault. Minnesota Rocker, you bought yourself the game 5. If it were that easy.
Yeah, this is the look of Minnesota Rocker fans. Oh, now they know they're on camp. Okay, I was about to say, just like stunned and be like, oh God, every single series is the most stressful experience you are ever gonna see. They don't make it easy. Minnesota Rocker, again, they win every single P4 rotation, and you're gonna notice for every single P4, it's actually Boston who gets more time. Like, rotations don't matter, and that means Nero just has to run it down and play bully ball. And hey, a 50 bomb, pippable. Nero, he got an ace in the S&D. That might be a top 5 play of the week. Nero's gonna be every single top 5 play by the end of this series.
Oh, wow. Also, shout out to the Rocker fans who are in the Season 1 jersey. I mean, that is a true Rocker supporter. Wow. Well, game 5 chance. Here we go to Dealership.
And I just know Nero wouldn't have to have every single top 5 play if they could just hold a Money Hill. Gentlemen, please.
Here we go, Dealership, guys. This is game 5. This is Rocker. The last chance they have here in their season to stay alive and force that dream for champs. It's still within grasp. A lot's got to go their way. We'll find out what happens after this break. Don't go too far, folks. This is Major 4 live from DreamHack.
The Scuff Call of Duty collection is $30 off this weekend only. Visit scuff.co/CDL to upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League. It's more than a game. It's for all who dare to compete. It's more than a team. It's our team. It's more than a feeling. It's unwavering passion. It's more than just talent. It's the grind that got me here. It's more than a moment. It's our legacy. One city, one stage, one champion. The battle starts now. The 2025 Minnesota Rocker Team Pack is available now. Each pack includes home and away operators as well as a weapon charm to keep the competition on ice. Next time you boot up, suit up at the in-game shop.
Next time you boot up, you might not be able to suit up Minnesota Rocky if you lose this Game 5. Here we go, folks. Oh, Boston fans, you guys. The support is fantastic, but what a series. Everyone's heart's in their throats. A nervous, intense finish to an insane series. Game 5, our first in the tournament, and it is bound to be electric.
I mean, low-key one of the best series of the year, right? Like round 11, multiple aces coming through, great plays. A game like that for the Vault hardpoint. In my understanding of the way it works, in case there's confusion, if everybody is out of a hill in a tie game, the game will end. But if someone is actually on the zone with the ability to capture the point, that's where the game extends and say, hey, the next person just live in this moment, you get the dub. Well, Nero is like, he is put it all out on the line. They can't hold a P4, so you'd rather not have to drop 50, but hey, whatever it takes in this moment to keep the run going.
Now, what if Nero, the hero, comes into this one a little too hot? You can't be overcommitting, Nick. Game 5, but here we go. We start things off with Minnesota Rocker Estriel, Mr. 1v1 himself, carrying the ball. Oh, no! A two-piece off rip!
Yeah, and listen, I know he gets credit for the kills. Nero is there as well. So listen, the EKIA rolling through and Awakening overwhelmed and Rocker kicking off the map 5 right.
Cammy alone. A 1v4. Put down, dealt with. Rocker strike first.
Yeah, I mean, that is just as good as it gets. Estriel for the credit on the 2 kills, but Nero has 2 assists in the round. Gio has 2 assists in the round. Kenny has a kill and an assist in the round. Everybody involved.
A literally perfect start there from Minnesota here. Kemi finds himself there. 1 kill and a Geo. That was a decent snap. We now swap sides once again. And Minnesota Rocker forget how to feel.
8 EKIA round 1. Hashtag teamwork.
That's got to be a first. Same thing again this time round though. Nobody home. Rocker know these moves. Spread there on the defense.
9 EKIA, sorry. Even better.
2-2 split here from Boston Breach. They're trying to play the odds over towards B. There's going to be Gio there, down deep.
And they're making this a guessing game. They've made noise at both the sites, so now Minnesota Rocker, they're just going to have to be stagnant in their setup, but good news for Minnesota Rocker, it's the perfect setup for this type of moment. They also have a 2-2 split, but now Boston gearing up. B's going to be the hit. Gio on the defensive end, he's got Estriel for the help.
There we go. Snoopy, can you plant the bomb? He's got coverage. It's a bit of a stretch, and Purge, oh, wonderful first blood. This is enough to pull 2 members of Rocker forward. Oh, and here we go, Nero through the window, and he's gone. 2v4, 3v2 now as Boston lose a man.
They're just letting him make mistakes. They're not even trying to plant the bomb. They know the time is not yet going to be crucial. Just now you're under the 30-second margin, but they're not in a hurry. They're waiting to get the intel on the next 2 players. You find Gio, but now you're wanting Kenny from up top. There's 1, there's 2, and maybe they did wait too long. Cammy again, last alive.
Cammy, you plant the bomb. You hold square on your controller. Just get that thing down. Gio's going to check this one potentially, worrying about the close play. Or Cammy jumps off it for a second, and what? Unbelievable Rocker. Let's just call out the patience to contain Breach there and not let anything happen. Breach overthinking the situation, and it cost them bad.
Well, Breach thinking about the situation perfectly, but then I don't think he actually saw Gio laying down in 10, so he was going for the aggressive bomb plant, and that was the wrong call. You clear out all the space, you hug the closed window, you're trying to do just a little too much. Everything prior to that, perfect. Boston maybe a little too smart for their own good.
A 2-round lead here in game 5. Kenny's force spree now, yet to drop. Brings a small car to a big car map, and this, nice and loud, over towards the B-bomb site, flush with players from Boston Breach. Manages to get in there for a moment and cause a bit of damage, and that's going to get you enough to get the first blood.
And perfect utilization. I don't know if the trophy's not in the right spot is going to hurt him long term, but Cammy finds a pick on Gio. Now they're waiting for Kenny to make a play. Nero in perfect position, unless it gets red, but at least you trade it out, and now Kenny again swinging through the flank.
Wait.
Gotta know.
Oh no, big win, and we're going to send Cammy ASAP to try to pick up the trade. Fast moves, oh, Cammy, 1v1. Kenny moves in. Slide, chow, 3 rounds in a row.
And that is fantastic work. I think Kenny, again, there's moments where he's getting involved in the mix right from the jump. There's times where he's the facilitator. RC car play, perfect. Gets the damage, Estriel there for the follow-up, and then after the fact, Kenny's cleared so much space being aggressive on the pinch that he's come to Estriel. There's nothing here. They're not even a mid. You need to turn around. Estriel heads up on that read, wins the first gunfight, and at least does enough damage that Kenny can get the final kill. Great duo ship effort there out of Cannon Nest. Real.
That was real. That was real.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean,
it sounded cool. It sounded cool. Keep rolling on. It sounded cool. Trophies in play over here by the A-bomb site. First time we've seen this so far.
White man can't jump.
Kaboom. Cammy gets himself into the fight, but he can't throw. Here comes an nade. It's going to land. Oh dear. 3 dead. Instantly Boston Breach. They are back to life.
Just like Woody Harrelson's slam dunk at the end when he needed it in that round. Cammy has bomb in hand. Once again, Boston, yeah, I mean, listen, their brains are working overtime. They are wrapping this out over towards B, or not even. They are covering every single lane. Now they got eyes on Gio, and they're working them. They're playing the kill.
They better hurry up. There we go. Breach. Stop the run. 3-1 here in the 5th.
Yeah, Boston trying really hard to not make any mistakes, but very well played round. Cammy might not be able to jump on the dumpster, but Awakening was good for 3 in this round.
The A-bomb site fight doesn't quite work out for Minnesota. I wonder how many more times we'll see them go there in this map. Does Boston show a very, very strong hand over by that side of the map? And the thing that impressed me most in nade usage, even with trophies in play, avoiding the sort of positions they know those trophies are to still get splash damage onto those cars to cause those chain reactions still. Old Faithful, no connection.
Yeah, but you fooled me once.
Yeah, right.
You dotted that again. Yeah, you're just costing. But this is distant. You have Nero completely out of the picture. He's got the entire pinch on lock, so his teammates are confident to look forward, but it could potentially be a man down.
Stun connects onto Awakening. Oh, and he still stays alive. Here comes the coverage, and Purge is going in. Purge on the trade. He's been cleaned up. Ezreal there for it. An Awakening through 10. He's banged up. He's still alive.
Hey, Minnesota Rocker, they don't have the numbers because Nero was out of the mix, and when he gets involved, he snaps.
Awakening 1v3. He's managed to cut through the middle. An impossible situation for Awakening to be in, and that is that. Nero guns him down. Unaware he was even behind him. 4-1, Rocker.
And Boston are starting to do some crazy stuff. Purge full sends out the window, and he does get a kill, so sort of kick off the sequence, but Nero, he just hears so much noise, and he just, I mean, he gets on the horse, he gets active straight through the middle of the map and picking up 2. Another round where Nero making the big play.
We haven't said it yet, we won't until the map is open. 4-1 from Rocker. Really decisive work in the middle of the map towards the B bomb side. The only time they've really faltered was when they attacked A. 2-2 split now from Breach. How much noise can they make across dealership?
Stagnant setup. Boston again on the 2-2 split, but this is virtually no noise being made, so they're not faking anything out. They're wrapping over towards A, but Kenny and Ezreal are here. And maybe the time works out. Yeah, Kenny leaves, and that's exactly when Boston starts to make moves, but here's the noise. Kenny's coming back. But they're playing for the retake. Nero and Gio have not reacted to the round just yet. Maybe for the moment, no reason to. Bomb yet to go down. Boston have really been taking their time. The A plant successful.
Oh, Kenny, lovely coverage. Oh, Kenny over the top. First blood, Kenny finds 2. Nades are there for it. The trades explosive. Gio makes it a 1v2. Timing. Big damage. And there it is. Nero. The hot hand continues. Minnesota Rocker. 5-1 here in Game 5.
Yeah, this is a meteoric run. And maybe Boston just falling a little bit short. The Game 5s that have been the biggest problem in the world for this team. The only reason Champs is going to be just a Herculean effort for this team at this tournament is because the Game 5s, they have faltered. At one point, a 9-loss spree in the game mode. But you did acknowledge, use the word transform, which I feel like is too far from Kenny being on the team. But now they actually have started to get some Game 5 wins. Here they are around the way, getting it done in emphatic fashion.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to talk about the Game 5 thing, but now we've said it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Snoopy being on a donut.
He's got 1 kill.
Well, he has 56 damage.
Oh, Ezreal's first blood. He walks right through the dealership in the showroom. We take full control of the B-bomb site. Here comes the bomb. Express overnight delivery. Gio, oh my goodness. The last 2 members of Breach. The last member of Breach awakening. He will be suffocated here at the major and sent home. Minnesota Rocker break their Game 5 curse with a decisive victory over Boston. The Dreams champs. Still just that, a dream they fight on.
And Boston Breach, a quick trip home in a few weeks to prepare for Champs, and for Minnesota Rocker, the fans on life support. I don't remember the last time Minnesota Rocker have had a series that wasn't incredibly stressful. One of the most intense hardpoint games that we have seen this year. A 1-point difference maker on the Vault hardpoint that comes down to a moment we have almost never seen even occur in the game.
We didn't know.
And Nero had to drop 50 to make it happen.
Can't say they're not trying to make it. You can't say they're not trying. Game 5 here on this Freaky Friday comes to a close. 5:59, and again, Kenny, he has had a brilliant series. A real magic maker for Minnesota. Well, there we go, Elim round 1, our first team to depart the tournament. And we got some exciting, spicy updates from the Bravo game as well. I do believe the Vegas Falcons are up over Vancouver, but more on that later.
No shot.
Yeah, bro. 6-1, the final score there on